Good morning and welcome to the show, where today we are doing a very unique programme. You join me in the heart of Wythenshawe in Manchester as we attempt to give this place a complete facelift. Now, it is all hands on deck. We have only 6 days until their big relaunch party. And I guess the big question is, why did I get involved with a project like this? Well, several weeks ago, we visited, and I learnt at first hand the invaluable service this place does to the community in Manchester. I'm now here to meet Greg, a guy who runs a project for this local neighbourhood. The thing I want to know is what he's been doing on this estate to help everybody. Let's go and find out. 10 years ago, Greg moved back to his childhood home of Wythenshawe in South Manchester with a vision of revamping the traditional idea of a youth club and bringing it bang up to date, so it's more accessible to the kids of today. Now, with this idea in mind, the UEW was formed. What made you come here and do this?
2 reasons. The first reason was this was my boyhood church. Used to come here every Sunday, attend the Sunday school. And in 1996, it was brought to my attention that the church was due to close. It had a very small congregation, you know, typical of church congregations, now elderly. But it had been vandalised to death. And to come back and to see a building that I had such fond memories for, and to see it in such a bad state, the roof off, every single window smashed, I felt as if I had to do something to try, at least to try and keep the church open. And combined with that was the way inner cities have become. You know, inner cities have become very unpleasant places, not only at night time, in daytime as well. And I felt we could not only keep the church open, but also do something which resembled a youth club, but maybe an updated version of the youth club that the kids actually would come to.
The big thing for me is, why would you? What makes you want to make a difference?
I think the biggest reason is that my family, including my mum and my children, are being brought up on this estate. And it outrages me when my daughter will say to me, "I'm not going to the park, Dad, because there's teenagers in it." By that, she means there's teenagers in it, drinking strong lager, smashing the place up. And I'm outraged that my 12-year-old daughter should not be allowed to play in a park because the kids have got nowhere else to go.
So you come back here 10 years ago to put something back into the community. How did you and the guys that you involved create the respect that was necessary to move it forward?
First of all, it occurred to me that, old traditional figures of respect were now redundant. It wasn't the school teacher, it wasn't the policeman. It also occurred to me, and I worked the door for 10 years, it also occurred to me that there were still people on this estate that did have that influence and control over the younger kids. And it was just, again, it was a simple step. It was identifying who the people were, putting them together in one room, basically saying to them, "Look, we've got this building, I've signed a lease on it, you know, what should we do with the building? What I want to do is provide something for the local kids which attracts their attention, which we don't have to bang a drum, but they will come in." There's kids on this estate who I will categorically state would not be seen dead in any type of youth club. The direction we want to go in is quite clear. We want to upgrade and modernise the youth club. Telephones get smaller, cars get faster. The only thing we've never modernised is youth facility. If you want a good example of a youth club from the 1970s, just go to any youth club, because they've never updated them. All we wanted to do is twist the dial and say to kids, "Look, there is a screaming need for good youth provision. Why don't you build it yourselves? We'll provide the manpower. You give us your dreams and we'll build it for you." And there's got to be a new phrase. I mean, youth and club is the deterrent to kids on the estate.
Because it's not cool, right? Not cool.
Wouldn't be seen dead in a youth club, yet we've got a gym and they gravitate towards the gym all day long.
The first thing Greg and the committee got up and running was a fully functional gymnasium, as Greg firmly believed that this was the easiest and quickest way to draw people to his centre.
So, Greg, we're above the gym, really. There's some equipment up here. And the gym was the first bit that you sort of worked with, wasn't it? Why was that?
Yeah, we needed something to keep the building open, so we needed something commercial that would bring a bit of revenue in, and the gym obviously was the idea we came up with.
You charge, I think you were telling me, $150 a day.
Yeah.
But they can use this equipment all day for that
all
money.
Day, they can come and go. I mean, a lot of people that are dedicated trainers will come in the morning for £1.50, will go home and come back again in the afternoon.
The gym wasn't the only idea he had for the centre. He showed me other rooms in the building which were being used to house other projects designed to attract more people from within the community.
So, as you can see, kitchen area.
Yeah.
Very busy on a Saturday morning when we've got the dancers in. And then this area here would be where the parents sit, because they all stay when we have the dancers in.
Yeah.
Quite comfortable, but again, I mean, it reflects our resources.
Would the kitchens ever be used to feed people who maybe were sleeping rough and stuff like that?
Yeah, we run a scheme called Fairshare, which takes supermarket food away from supermarkets. That's just before it's sell by, but stuff they can't sell. And at one time we were doing in the region of 8 tonnes a week. So yeah, absolutely, yeah.
With what you guys are doing here, do you see that as some sort of blueprint for other estates in other big cities in the UK?
One of the things we're quite interested in is talking and telling people that, look, what we've done in Wythenshawe could certainly be replicated in other areas, and we feel that the worse the social conditions are on an estate, the better the base would be for a United Estates, you know, United States of Birmingham, United States of anywhere.
So this would be the dance area?
Yeah, this was the result of a conversation we had with a local Irish dance teacher who just made a comment there was no dedicated dance space in the entire Wythenshawe area.
Not at all?
Not at all. So everything you see now is kind of is on a needs-led basis. It didn't exist, so we built it. And as you can see, it's a little bit run down. This is the garden area. We put this together about 8 years ago. I think these are a bit of TLC. We're an updated youth club, and it is about time we did look at youth facilities and ask ourselves, are they working? It's providing credible alternatives.
Yeah.
Stuff, speaking the language of the youth, if you want to, you know, I know that sounds pithy, but it's providing a credible alternative. I can't say it any plainer than that. And what we're doing, hopefully, here is providing that credible alternative.
After meeting Greg and seeing all of the amazing work that he was doing for the community, we really did want to help in any way possible. So we decided to give the dance area, the cafe and the garden a complete makeover.